Courtesans. You enter the quarter dressed like luxury and counted like inventory.
The gate behind you feels less like welcome and more like a lock. Every face that studies you is measuring price, posture, and promise. Your sleeves glow with status, but they drag like weighted curtains. You look untouchable, which is how the system hides its hands. The hairpins feel beautiful until your scalp starts remembering their weight. Even your walk is trained into something slower than ordinary human comfort. You are not just arriving at work today. You are arriving inside a machine that profits from your composure. The younger girls stare at you like you are destiny in silk. You know better, because destiny here usually answers to debt. The room smells of powder, lacquer, incense, and tired breath. At first, the mirrors make you look like the winner. Then you notice how many other hands built that image for sale. By nightfall, your face belongs to everyone except you. No one says prison because the walls are dressed too elegantly. They say rank instead, and rank sounds cleaner than ownership. You learn that beauty here is not freedom. Beauty is the premium packaging wrapped around obedience, timing, and price. You thought the parade proved your power, but it proves your market value. The child attendants beside you are not decoration alone. They are watching, learning, and quietly rehearsing their own replacement futures. A customer cannot simply reach you, because ritual itself is part of the price. Meetings come first, then more meetings, then proof of spending. You are sold as rarity, which means access must feel difficult. The elegance is real, but it exists to sharpen the sale. You practice music, poetry, posture, and the discipline of never rushing. They call it refinement, and some of it truly is. But training can also be a softer word for controlled behavior. Your laugh must land lightly, even when your feet ache. Your sleeves must fall perfectly, even when your shoulders burn. A wrong glance can cheapen the fantasy someone paid to enter. So you learn to move like expensive weather through a room. Outside, prints turn you into an icon other people think they know. Inside, your day is managed by schedules, handlers, and visible rank. The myths keep your image glowing while your life stays negotiated. You notice how often glamour depends on someone else keeping accounts. Every ornament can sparkle and still feel like a tally mark. Even desire arrives through gatekeepers, prices, and the right introductions. You were promised admiration, but admiration here is just another management tool. By now, your feet know the route better than your hope does. The tall clogs force grace from pain, one careful step at a time. The hairstyle that crowns you also pulls at the base of your neck. No one buys the image of effort, so effort must stay hidden. You carry yourself like a painting, because paintings outlive complaints. Meals, sleep, recovery, and privacy bend around the demands of rank. The quarter teaches you that exhaustion can be dressed to look ceremonial. Your body keeps the real ledger that no customer ever reads. There is always another girl learning how to stand straighter. There is always another face waiting to seem newer than yours. Replacement fear does not shout here.
It whispers from the dressing room while someone fixes your collar.
You learn to hear danger in compliments about youth and freshness.
The customer sees polish, but the house sees lifespan. That is the part the famous prince never quite confess.
They keep the sleeves, the lantern light, and the perfect profile.
They leave out the quotas, the illnesses, and the narrowing choices. You notice how fantasy needs selective memory to keep selling itself.
Even the famous procession is a moving advertisement for controlled desire. You thought the richest robe meant safety, but it mostly meant higher stakes.
A top rank gives visibility, and visibility is not the same as protection.
It means more eyes, more expectations, and less room to be ordinary. You must sound educated enough to flatter a room full of ego.
You must stay desirable without looking too easy to reach.
Your poise becomes a fence built out of manners.
The fence protects the brand before it protects you.
Some nights, a customer arrives wrapped in rank and secrecy.
Power enters quietly here, sometimes hidden under a lowered hat.
The rules say one thing, but appetite finds side doors. You learn that hypocrisy wears expensive fabric as easily as anyone.
Then comes the dangerous comfort of being recognized on sight.
Shopkeepers bow a little lower, and strangers repeat your name softly. Printmakers borrow your image until fame starts feeling almost warm.
For a moment, you can mistake publicity for proof that you matter. This is how false hope usually enters. Not as escape, but as a softer way to endure the cage.
You imagine a patron who sees the person beneath the costume.
You imagine marriage, rescue, or a door opening somewhere beyond the gate.
The quarter sells that dream too, because hope keeps people manageable.
You thought fame might free you, but fame mostly teaches strangers how to own your image. Even your artistic skill can become another polished surface for the transaction. The music is real, and so is the talent inside it.
That truth makes the next truth hurt more.
The talent is admired because it sweetens the sale. You were told refinement would elevate you above ordinary suffering. Instead, refinement teaches you to suffer without ruining the composition. No one applauds the hours spent recovering from what elegance costs. No one prints the part where your body stops feeling like yours. Illness moves through the quarter without needing an invitation. Carl.
So does fear, especially when youth is your most fragile currency.
The younger attendants are still learning how to smile through observation. You see yourself in them and hate how little warning helps.
Sometimes a small kindness survives between women in the dressing room.
A loosened tie, a shared breath, a hand steadying your sleeve.
It is not freedom, but it is human, and that matters.
By now, you understand the quarter survives by staging controlled illusion. The gate, the guidebooks, the parades, and the rituals all agree. They tell the city you are glamour with a pulse. They do not tell the city how easily glamour becomes disposal. You thought being unforgettable would save you, but the system only needs you profitable.
That is the coldest truth, hiding beneath the painted mouth.
You are cherished most when you are easiest to market.
When the market shifts, affection can shrink with frightening speed.
The room still glows, but you can finally read the glow correctly. It is not romance filling the space around you.
It is commerce made beautiful enough to pass for destiny. And yet, you are still a person inside all that staging. You still notice moonlight on lacquer and wish it meant something kinder. You still feel relief when another woman says nothing and understands everything.
You still count tiny mercies, because large mercies rarely arrive here.
The worst part is not only being watched, it is learning to help perform the image that erases you.
That is why the silk feels heavier near the end. Not because the robe changed, but because you finally see the cost. The quarter calls you exquisite, while spending your years like small coins. The city calls you fantasy, because fantasy is easier than guilt. And you keep walking, because stopping would not unlock the gate.
So your final lesson is simple. Beauty here was never the same as choice.
If this life changed how you see old glamour, stay with the next story. Subscribe for more lives history made beautiful before it made them small.